Yo, welcome back, YouTube. It's your boy Danielle, one half the Red Eye Recap podcast. And we are back with another segment of Ask a Black Guy reviews. If you didn't see my last episode, we did Captain America Brave New World, which got a lot of love on that one. Thank you guys for the likes. Wasn't much, but for us on a small channel, it's a blessing. Thank you. But today we back with a new show. We got the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I gotta admit, when I first saw this show, I was thinking, why is there so many things change and things don't look the same? But as I got to get more and deeper into this show, I was more like, damn, what's next? I'm excited for the next season. So let's get right into it. The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This thing is different, really different. I said it before, but I'm gonna keep stressing it. It's different. So I'm not gonna bore you guys. We already know the story about Peter Parker getting bit by the radioactive spider to give him his powers, to where he became the legendary Spider-Man that we all know and love. But this time, we're kind of seeing the early stages of that, the development. It's kind of something like a Batman Year One, but I enjoyed this ride. Both these characters have been redesigned, I'll say, with a little bit more swag. You know, you got Norman Osborn finally making sense of having waves as a white guy back then. But no, we got Norman Osborn with his waves. We got Harry with the man bun, got a little spag up, and looking good. Now, other than just ethnicity, we do have a gender swap, and one of the most iconic characters I can say in Peter Parker's science mentors in Doc Connors. This time, she is an African-American woman. Now, we do see some heroes in this show. We do get small cameos by these characters. First, I want to say Doctor Strange. We saw him in 2 episodes, but we saw him right in the beginning, maybe in the first 2 minutes. Great fight. He had a fight with some type of Venom-like entity. I'm not sure what it was, but we'll figure out later on. As well, we did get to see Tony Stark, very, very, very small cameo in the Iron Man suit, so that was cool as well. But one of the fights I do want to kind of put emphasis on within this hero was we got to see Daredevil fight Spider-Man on this rooftop. It was an amazing fight, man. Early stages on, like I said, just to see Daredevil this soon in Peter Parker's life, that was kind of cool to me. So, you know, that was that. Now, as far as the heroes, we all did also get to see some villains too. We got to see Doc Ock prior to him having all of those arms and whatnot. And we did see Scorpion in the early on. I'm talking about before he even had any of the armor and stuff like that. But I did like his character. I did like that he was one of the, I'll say he was one of the big focal point enemies in the show. But one guy I do want to put emphasis on this villain that I did like to see his backstory finally, Tombstone. We got to see Tombstone, one of the biggest New York's biggest crime lords. We got to see him in the early stages when he was good and, you know, he was in high school. Kind of gave you a different perspective on why he does what he does. But yeah, man, we got to see that. And when he was cool with Peter Parker, and they were buddies, and then he gets led down this, you know, road of, you know, violence and, you know, but that didn't happen in this series. We got to see the good side. So I'm very excited to see what becomes of him later on. And now we got some new characters. My boy Peter finally got the hots for somebody else than the typical Mary Jane, Felicia Hardy, Gwen Stacy. We got a new sheriff in town that goes by the name of Pearl. Best way to describe her, she reminds me of Liz Allen from Spider-Man Homecoming. You know, it's just animation, but she's cute. As well, we do have, Peter has, I guess, like a new female best friend. Her name's Nico. I've never heard of her before. I'm not too familiar with her, but we do see that there's more to meet the eye with her towards the end of this season, so we got to stay tuned to figure out who she really is. From the animation style reminding us of Ultimate Spider-Man video game back in, I think, 2006, down to Peter Parker's comic accurate design. This feels like one big animated comic book in live action. Man, we got the original super nerdy Peter Parker from the first Spider-Man comic book back in 1963. You add that with minor changes with his hair, and they threw that into, I guess, a modern society with cell phones, social media, and very interesting fashion senses, minus Peter's very own. That boy can't dress. This show ultimately deals with Peter Parker and Norman Osborn as they work together to prepare Peter to be the best version of Spider-Man, not just for the people of New York, but secretly for Norman's shady intentions. We do see the struggles that Peter continuously deals with in learning balance from friends, family, and hero work. I'm gonna say this series is well paced. You got about 10, 30-minute episodes. It's a very quick watch. You can watch this in like 5 hours. Like I said, it's just really fast. But you will be wanting more. Trust me. You'll wish they added more than just 10 episodes to a season. Other than that, you know, besides the incident with Doctor Strange fighting this, like I said, Venom-like entity in the beginning, it's very street-level threats of this thing, man. You know, you're dealing with illegal tech, turf wars, gangs, thugs, muggers. You know, nothing crazy. I don't think it really kind of takes a notch up until they get to Scorpion. But other than that, this is very basic level stuff. I'm gonna say within the first 9 episodes. Now, when we get to episode 10, that's where it kind of goes up a level. This is how you end off a season finale and want any fans anymore. Let me tell you what happened in episode 10. Ultimately, Norman reveals his true plan and he creates a portal to what looks like a different world. If you had to ask me, it looks like the planet of the symbiotes. When one of the symbiotes manages to get through, we get this amazing team up between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, which ultimately they do end up, taming that situation down. But after that fight, you are left wanting more. I don't want to spoil too much, but you do want to keep seeing what happened because now we're getting into, planetary type of things, things that's outside of just the normal world. Now, speaking of next season, we see things set up for a later season when we see Norman discovering a piece of the black symbiote that was left behind. We also see May going to jail and sitting down with what looks like to be Peter's father, which was very shocking. I did not see that coming at all. Wow. Every series we always get Spider-Man, the parents are gone. But to see that he has a father that's in jail, crazy. As well, we see Lonnie slowly changing into the Tombstone with all of the with the pale skin and stuff like that. He hops back into a car with the thugs that he kind of took over that gang with, and he's looked like he's going down that path already. As lastly, we do see something crazy with Nico. Nico in this series has been very just normal. It doesn't seem like it has anything to do with anything unique as far as powers or special abilities, but towards the end, she has this amulet type of thing that she wears, and it looked like she's able to speak to the dead. So we can kind of see a small difference at the end of it. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's pretty shocking. So that was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now let me give you some of the things that I did like about the show. Every episode did this thing like the comics where they would, before the episode start, you would see like the comic book cover that kind of gave you an idea of what's gonna happen. That was hard to me. That was really cool because it felt like I said it's like you're watching a comic, in animation form. It's just dope. Every episode was like episode 1. You see this episode, it was cool as hell. I actually would want to keep those comic book covers as posters. It was dope. I think the fighting remains top tier, man. I feel like with Spider-Man, if I had to use any example, remember if you've seen the Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he was in New York Times Square where, Electro came and everything kind of slowed down and you kind of get to see all of his actions that he does in a small split second of time, and it was just amazing. There was a lot of moments like that in the show. Hella dope, man. I think the development was really realistic with Peter Parker. I feel like we always kind of get Spider-Man where he gets the powers, he kind of goes through a couple of trials of tribulation, and then eventually we see 6 months later he's perfected everything and he's Spider-Man. This one took his time. Like I said, there was times with Norman Osborn where he was even unsure of himself, so it just took time for him to get there. Man, I'll tell you, it was dope. I felt like from episode 1 it was kind of really slow paced with him, but when he got to the episode when he fought Scorpion, that's what I thought he had it mastered. I think when Scorpion came, he became the Spider-Man that we knew, and I think that was dope, man. But I really did love this development with him. This is not a big deal. Like I said, this is not a big deal. One of my dislikes, I probably got 2 dislikes. I know it's Spider-Man. I know in the video games you play Spider-Man, you get endless amount of different costumes, and I think it's cool. I think it's something that for kids you can always kind of market different outfits and different things, and sometimes we do get some cool ones. I wasn't too fond of the costumes in this one. I know I said this is the early development, so he doesn't just immediately becomes the red and blue Spider-Man that we do know. He did have a cool costume that Norman gave him. It was like this whitish bluish suit that I thought that could have been his final suit. Kind of remind me of the anti-venom suit kind of in Spider-Man 2 a little bit. I thought that was cool. But other than that, I wasn't a fan. They had a suit of him. He had wings, like he was some type of dragonfly thing. I didn't care about that. Or he had a suit where he had like a cape, and I'm just like, I don't like all this suit stuff. It's cool, it's cute, but I don't think it's really necessary. It didn't really take away from the show. Like I said, it does show with the development, but I'm not too big a fan of all these Power Ranger like costumes and whatnot. It wasn't really my thing. My last biggest thing, and this is no hate and this is all respect. I thought we got away from the woke Disney stuff, man. Like I said, I know we have Peter Parker, he's been Spider-Man for years, but I've never seen him focus this much on black characters in Spider-Man. It feels kind of forced a little bit. The fact they made Harry black, they made Norman black, they made Doc Connors. It was just like, that's cool, but I don't think it's really necessary. It didn't take away from the story at all. Like I said, I think it's cool, but it just feels like since Black Panther, I don't know. It just feels like Disney has just been trying to do all this black people this, black that, black that, black that. I did like it in one sense with Scorpion. Scorpion seemed to be some type of Latino. And I liked it because I think whoever did his voice was like you can really hear that Latin in it. And I thought it helped with the character. So that was dope to see it. But I mean, even within all the gangs with Tombstone, I know Tombstone's black, but he's like all these black guys, and it's just like, damn, like we don't need all this everywhere, bro. Like even one of his teachers, a black guy, like Peter, we've never seen this much people in your universe ever. Until I saw Homecoming and I saw Liz Allen was the main person or like the main female or Zendaya was Mary Jane. It's like, I guess, but it ain't gotta force it on us, bro. Like I said, it doesn't take away from the show. It's cool, but I'll leave it at that. But overall, I know I saw what I said. I would give this show straight up, man, probably 8.5 to 9. I mean, this show started off in a way I did not care about it when I first saw the preview and I saw the trailer, but I don't know something about Spider-Man, bro. They never can really get wrong, man. He's too interesting of a character to really mess up. So much that goes on in this world. I thought it was dope, man, from the fighting. Even when he's confused, it's just like he might be one of our first characters for real. Besides Batman, like we love seeing him make a mistake. Like we just like to see it because when you got to the end of it, man, especially when he fought like Scorpion, bro, just to see how dark he came, and I just remember thinking like, this is what Spider-Man looks like if he doesn't hold his punches. It's hard, bro. Y'all gotta go see this show, man. So I'm excited for season 2. Hope you guys like this show whenever that you guys see it. But overall, let me know what you guys think about this show. Leave a comment, leave a like, give us a sub, and really just let us know what you think. This show is hard, man. Highly recommended. But until next time, man, see you guys in another episode of Ask a Black Guy Reviews. Peace.